Well, we're going to talk about the lies that stop you from being magical. The lies that stop you from being magical. You are empty and lacking. You need to be humble and gather energies and ideas from outside of you so you can complete yourself. That's what most people believe. They're empty and lacking. I would argue that is not true. The truth is that very few of us know or acknowledge is that you came here whole, and I'm going to say perfect and complete. You have everything inside of you already. You as a highly conscious being, you as a light worker, you as an empath, you as a star seed, you as an indigo soul came in here whole, perfect, and complete and ready to rock and roll. And then the world impinged upon you and it beat you down over and over and over again. So you have everything inside already. Simply let go of what is not you. What is not you. Anything that feels bad limits you. Any belief, any dogma, any propaganda, any bullshit you see on TV, if that makes you feel bad, that limits you. That is letting go of what is not you. What is left is your magnificence and magic. And you do possess magic. And I know that to be fact, or you wouldn't be on this call. This first lie tricks you to think you are powerless. This first lie tricks you to think you are powerless and void of any real value. I really want you to grasp that. This first lie tricks you to think you're powerless and void of real value, that you have to collect all the value you can from outside of you. The truth is, your wisdom, power, and magic have gotten buried in illusions and lies picked up from this matrix of reality. Since you walked in here from the first day of your life, you have been fed a line of bullshit about how this world works or doesn't work, about what you can do or what you can't do. You have been fed a line of bullshit. You have been buried under a level of illusion that you can't even comprehend. And it's all picked up from the lies of this matrix. Now these all connect together, so I'm gonna go through this at a pretty good clip. Lie number 2. Most spirits, for example, angels, gods, and I used a little g, gods, ascended masters, divine aliens. You know, I've heard lately a lot of talk about aliens and get on the mothership and they're here to save us and they're going to change humanity and blah, blah, blah. Most spirits, i.e. angels, gods, ascended masters, divine aliens, are benevolent and here to help you. I call bullshit on that. The truth, when you can see their hidden agenda, you realize often they help you only to trap or limit you down the road. Because if you're relying on their help, if you look for them for help, that's again ignoring your power, your magic, your divinity. So they help you only to trap or limit you down the road. They know how powerful and capable you are and want things from you. And what they want is your energy. They want your power. They want your wisdom, knowledge, your beauty, because they don't have that. They need it from you. So spirits, as they function in this matrix, are in corrupted organizations that have mostly just a facade of benevolence. Mostly just a facade of benevolence. Okay. Number 3. I'm responsible for all the problems and mistakes I've made in my life. I'm responsible for all the problems and mistakes I have made in my life. Truth, your life has been corrupted. Your life has been corrupted like everything else in this matrix. You are not the source of the corruption. You are the target of the corruption. You are the target of corruption. Like I said, you come into this world whole, perfect, and complete, ready to rock and roll, high level of consciousness, wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and then the world impinges upon you and knocks the snot out of you. So basically what is happening is that this interference, these things up here, angels, gods, ascended masters, divine aliens, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is for you, whatever you've come across in your existence, I call it interference. And interference is messing with your life. It's trying to prevent you from finding and becoming your true self. All the delusion, all the craziness, all the chaos in the world. And we've talked about chaos sorcery many, many times. That is interference as well. And it's messing with your life. It's trying to prevent you from finding and becoming your true self. When you stop owning the problems and making yourself wrong, you start to see the problems come from manipulators that are altering your reality. Manipulators that are altering your reality. So I'm responsible for all the problems and mistakes I've made in my life. You're not. You're not. You are an infinite being, and infinite beings do not create mistakes. They don't stop at failure. They keep changing and creating things until they are the way they prefer them. So you are a creator being, and as you move through your life, you've tried something and it's failed. And you look at it and you try something else, and maybe that didn't work out the way you wanted. You didn't get it quite right. And then you try something else, and that didn't work out. You go back at it again. You keep going back at it, back at it, back at it, back at it, until you ultimately get what it is you're trying to create. Infinite beings don't create mistakes. They don't stop at failure. They keep changing and creating things until they are the way they prefer them. And in my own life, I have done that over and over. I have remade myself. I have reinvented myself over and over. And that's all we're doing. We're not making mistakes. We're not responsible for the problems that are in this world. This goes back, and I've said that I've told this story on this call before. I'm responsible for the problems and mistakes I've made in my life. The question that befuddled me the most in 10 years or 11 years of practice is when the young lady calls me and we're in session and she says, why did I create the drunk driver that came across the lane and hit my car and hurt and killed him and hurt me and my daughter? Why did I create that? That's bullshit. That is so disempowering. That is illusion. That this world wants you to think that you are creator of everything, that you have input to everything, that everything that happens in your life happens because you brought it into existence. That is not true. Some things maybe. Some things that you came here to learn lessons from, maybe. Line number 4. You need divine beings who are obviously better than you to create and protect you. You need divine beings who are obviously better than you to create and protect you. Truth, you are already a creator being. You are already a creator being. Divine beings actually need you to support and create for them. Divine beings actually need you to support and create for them. They harvest energies from you because they have limited resources. You have unlimited resources. And if you remember, I don't know, for those of you that were in the Miracle Activation group or in the SLS group, but I put a diagram up, and on the left is an energy field that's connected to the creator of all that is. Not God, not Buddha, not Krishna, creator of all that is. Infinite consciousness. From infinite consciousness comes this matrix of this earth. That's infinite energy. Most people are on the right of that diagram with a shattered, broken, cracked, less than optimal field. And they're connected into something inside the matrix of this earth, a God with a little g, an angel, an alien, whatever it is that they've connected themselves to. That's finite energy. As creator being, you operate and run on infinite energy. Infinite energy. So you are an infinite being with more resources than all the gods, little g, combined. That's what I want you to understand here. Putting a God, spirit, or being above you is limiting to you. Limiting to you. You don't need divine beings. You need to connect to your authentic, infinite self and recognize that you are source. Source. 0 point energy. Creator of all that is. The creator, 0 point, has no judgment. None. It does not judge right or wrong, good or bad. It waits on you to tell it. It waits on you to move it into action. It waits on you to ask it or charge it to do something. It has no judgment. We're down here in this theater of experience to learn lessons, to grow. We talked about that last week with your life plan that I laid out, how that works for most people. And you have a beginning and you have an end, and you have all the things lined up on that path or on that plan that you decided you were going to experience. But that takes infinite energy to pull that off, to plan it and to live into it. Not finite, infinite. You don't need divine beings. You need to connect to your authentic, infinite self and recognize that you are source. Now, this is blasphemy and and hypocrisy to most of the people in this world, because they've been taught the opposite. You are limited. You are small. You are broken. Something is missing. You need us. You need religion. You need the medical system. You need fill in the blank. You can't do anything by yourself. You have no control. You have no judgment. That's all part of the illusion. That's all part of the illusion and the corruption. And remember, you're the target of the corruption in this world. Lie number 5. Limitations and negative emotions are normal and beneficial here. In other words, what people think is fear keeps me safe. Fear keeps me safe. Your natural state, and I've said this over and over again, and I will keep saying it till the day I leave. You are happy, healthy, joyful, fearless, loving, and alive. Happy, healthy, joyful, fearless, loving, and alive. And when you're connected to infinite energy, you can't help but be those things. Happy, healthy, joyful, fearless, loving, and alive. You are a sovereign being, a free agent who is infinitely sourced and limitless. Limitation is the true frequency of this matrix. Here we have this belief limitations and negative emotions are normal, but limitations are the true frequency of this matrix. Limitation, disconnection from source, finite energy. That's why we have so many wars and everything else that's going on in this world. Everybody thinks that there's finite resources in this planet, that there's only one way to do things, that conquering and destruction and murder and death is the human condition. I call bullshit on that. You're a sovereign being, free agent, who is infinitely sourced and limitless.